Today, we're talking about helping your brain to complete its healing loop. I'm also going to share why this helps to prevent re traumatization and gives you the biological permission to stop when your capacity is exceeded. I'm going to show you two different paths to take to be able to get unstuck. We are talking about the decision tree today. And the decision tree is a practical tool that is what you would use for the question, what do I do right now? It's a micro routine. As I said, each day that I have shared techniques, they have been based on 5 to 10 minute micro routines that are effective and that work and that will help you navigate moments of intense overwhelm or dysregulation. So, the decision tree is a core component of the guide that I've created that you can download for free from Survival to Safety Guide because it moves you into immediate action. And hey, my name is Lana McMurray. I am a certified life coach. I am trauma informed, trained. But please be advised that the information provided here is for educational and for informational purposes only and is intended to help your higher brain understand your nervous system's functions. So I'm not a medical doctor, and the content shared is not a substitute for a professional medical diagnosis or any clinical treatment or prescriptions that you would get. While somatic practices, which I'm talking about, and brain work, which I also am trained in and I talk about, can support the resolution of survival mode symptoms. They are not a one size fits all solution and require an individual assessment of your own capacity and felt safety. If you are experiencing a mental health crisis, if you have thoughts of self harm or require clinical intervention for any specific disorder, please contact a licensed medical professional or your local emergency services immediately. Okay, with that said, through one on one somatic coaching, we can move beyond talk therapy, which often cannot reach the parts of the brain where trauma is stored, to work directly with your nervous system's lightning fast electrical processes. And that's what we're talking about today. So, a defensive brain function triggered by chronic stress, anxiety, or trauma. That is what we are dealing with here. When your brain prioritizes immediate safety, it shifts energy away from the prefrontal cortex. That's the center for logic and creativity, and into the limbic system, which governs your fight, your flight, your freeze, and your fawn responses. The neurological hijack often leads to financial instability, strained relationships, a lot because of emotional numbness. No, talked a lot about that, and a persistent sense of emotional numbness or exhaustion. So, experts do emphasize that traditional talk therapy is often insufficient because trauma is stored somatically within the body's nervous system rather than just in a conscious memory. So, to move towards a thriving state, individuals must prioritize nervous system regulation and felt safety through grounding exercises and sensory awareness. So, by retraining the brain to recognize the current dangers and to recognize that current dangers have passed. that they're gone. Like those things that caused the initial survival mode, that those have passed and gone away. The survivors can restore their executive function and reclaim a sense of agency and connection. So, again, if you would like your own free copy of this guide that I have created, which is From Survival to Safety, your 5-minute daily reset guide, a 5-minute lifeline when you're overwhelmed, no fluff, just relief. The information is in the description box for you. What I'm doing through each of these videos is walking you through the guide so that you can know how to use it for yourself. All right, so I just want to check to make sure I am filming before we get going. Through each. Got it. I am. So let's continue. Let's get into the meat of this. There's nothing like doing a complete video and then finding that it didn't record any sound. Oh my God. Then you have to do a voiceover. No. Okay. So let's talk about this guide here. So the guide is, as I said, the decision tree. And how it works is it functions as a biological assessment tool that helps you determine whether your nervous system has the capacity to process an emotion or if it needs immediate containment. Because again, remember, I said re-traumatization is not the goal here. This is a not force you to go through it to deal with it situation. This is a loving, very kind, gentle approach. Loving yourself to becoming back at choice, to getting back into your body, getting back, right, moving back into your human and being able to handle life at the same time while healing. That's the purpose of this guide, is to help you to do that continually, signaling safety. So the point is to signal safety. Now, the decision tree goes a little bit further than the other steps we had, where on the first day, what we did was the 60-second check-in to be able to notice if we were in survival mode. Go back and watch that video. And then the next was what to do once you recognize you are in survival mode. 4 different instant regulation techniques that work in 5 to 10 minutes max. I mean, not even maybe just 5 minutes, but different things that you could do to help you regulate yourself. Today, we're talking about this decision tree. And what that's going to do is help you determine whether or not your nervous system has the capacity for you to go ahead and stay with that emotion and process it, or to go in the second direction and seek immediate containment. So let's go through the guide real fast and then I'll go through the details. All right. So the decision tree, what to do right now. Ask yourself, can I stay with this feeling and stay present? So you're going to regulate and you're going to check. You're going to soothe and meet your needs. And we talked about how to do that. And then you're going to stop and you're going to shift. You're going to change your focus or you're going to change your action. And then you're going to stay with that sensation and allow the body to to process it. And then you're going to ask yourself, can I stay present? And if the answer is yes, you're going to stay with that sensation. Your body is processing old stress and releasing it. This is healing happening. Remind yourself, my body knows how to do this. Thank God. I'm safe enough to feel this. Okay, so this is in the phase where you feel as if you can stay with the sensation, because a lot of times your body picks it up before your mind recognizes it. And that's why you're looking at noticing different signs that your body's doing to see what's happening, like behaviorally or somatically, physically. If it's a no, if you're spiraling, you're feeling consumed, if you're shutting down, no, do not get mad at yourself. Do not get angry with yourself. Do not blame yourself. Just stop. It's okay. And shift gears immediately. Go to something that helps you regulate. Put on some, you know, I'm watching Stranger Things, and Max has headphones on at the end, fourth and fifth episodes series. In the fourth, series, I think that's what the chapters or whatever. Because Vecna, she has to listen to music in order not for Vecna not to take her captive at will. What? There's a song. Music has a way of reaching us. Music is a universal language. What music, what song does that for you? Have that ready. Have them ready for when you're feeling consumed, you're spiraling, you're shutting down, you can't handle the sensation. It's no shame. You're not weak. Use that. Or call a friend, but call somebody you can trust, not somebody who's going to go gossip behind your back or buffet you. And you got to have a friend that say you have an agreement that, listen, when I come to you about this, just listen to me. Don't tell me what I should do and what I should feel. Just be with me. If you don't have somebody you can trust like that, don't fall for humiliation, that humiliation ritual. A lot of religious associations have humiliation rituals where they have this fake love, but it's really not genuine. Trust yourself. If you don't feel like you want to talk to that person, you don't want to talk to that person. You're not forced to talk and share anything with anybody. I don't care what their title is. If they are not the creator and your maker, they are not more important than you. And you don't have to tell them shit. Make yourself a cup of hot tea, or pour yourself a nice cool glass of water, put some lemons, some cucumbers in it or something. Something, just get active, like put your mind on something else. Or just step outside. That's something I do a lot. I get up, I get up out of my seat and I walk outside. Let the sunlight hit you. If it's cold, that's good because that cold can refresh you. If it's hot, can, just get outside, get out in nature, or watch something that makes you laugh. Watch something funny or something that's comforting. For me, Stranger Things is comforting to me because it's based in the 80s and I love loyalty and I love community. So, I love to fight evil. So, that's something that feels good to me. And then ask yourself, am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Do I need to go to the bathroom? These are actual basic things that when you're in survival mode, you forget about. So, what you're signaling to yourself that I'm still safe, I'm not ready to sit with this, but I'm still safe. So, like it says here, that your body has basic needs, meeting them is nervous system regulation. So, that's what you would use here. That's how you would use this guide. Let me teach you a little bit more about why all that means, why all that's important. So, as I said, the tree functions as a biological assessment tool that helps you determine whether your nervous system has the capacity to process an emotion or if it needs instead to have immediate containment. So, the entry point is the presence check. When you feel a surge of stress, like you get a racing heart or your tight gut, you first check if you can stay present and connected in the here and the now. Can you avoid escaping? You orient to your environment, feeling your feet on the floor, press your feet down, ground, or look at something safe that's outside. Look at something safe outside. Look at your dog. Look at your coffee cup. Look at your chair. Look at something safe. And then there's that capacity question you ask yourself. Can I continue to be in this intense, scary sensation and stay present? And then that branch. So you have branch A, where it's a yes, or you have branch B, where it's a no. So let's say it's a yes. You're going to stay with the wave. Capacity exists. If you feel you can handle the intensity, you stay with the sensation and you respect it without judgment for a few minutes. Not hours, just a few minutes. This is going to allow your brain to complete its healing loop that deactivates that old survival stress and converts it into insight and into calm. The healing loop is the brain's natural, beautiful process for resolving and integrating emotional distress, traumatic stress, painful information. Under healthy conditions, the brain is a phenomenal data processor. It is designed to take in experiences, to sort them all out, and resolve them automatically without you having to do anything. Well, you are the brain. I mean, it's your body, but it's designed to work. So the reason why that loop gets interrupted, it's often interrupted when information registers as intense pain. Things like fear, things like shame. Somebody saying, shame on you, like we just heard in the last State of the Union address. I mean, why is this grown man standing up telling people to be ashamed of themselves? That's just so immature. But shame or terror in the brain. So you've got the survival guide. So when your survival team is in the brain and it flags incoming danger as danger, incoming data as danger, it prevents that information from passing to the thriving team. So you got two teams. You got your survival team, you got your thriving team, okay? When the survival team in the brain flags the incoming data as danger, it's going to prevent that information from passing to the thriving team for processing. The data gets kicked out because the distress is just too painful for the system to handle at that moment. And the brain kicks out that data. But instead of it being resolved, this information just stays stuck or trapped in the body. Remember, your body keeps score. So it stays trapped in your body's tissues and inside the subconscious mind. You have this chronic looping because the body is a receptor that never stops trying to send these signals to the front of the brain for resolution. And you experience this chronic survival mode. The brain keeps on telling you about that fear over and over and over because it has never successfully made it through the healing loop. So that is the benefit of being able to have building capacity to stay with the sensation, just to let your body do what it needs to do on its own. If your body is not ready yet to deal with a situation, you will know because you will feel consumed, you will be spiraling, you will be shutting down. Don't ignore that. Don't push and force yourself through if you haven't built the capacity yet. What you want to do is go on over to branch B, which is no, which is perfectly good as branch A. And you want to just feel yourself starting to, like, if you feel yourself starting to ramp up even more, like you feel like you're going to black out, faint, you feel like you're descending into like this doomsday spiral. You must pull yourself out. I got to pull myself out of this. You want to shift your focus entirely to a positive resource, such as listening to some music, calling up a good friend or even a family member, whoever is good to you. Having a nice warm cup of tea, if you like hot coffee or whatever you like to drink. You want to bring your system back down to a regulated state. Again, why this decision tree is helpful. It's uniquely effective because it addresses the biological reality of the survival mode rather than just offering you some self care tips. Like I could say, take a nap, do this and that. That's not the same thing as like trying to get to the healing loop. It helps to, this decision tree is going to help restore choice because in survival mode, your brain operates under a dictatorship where behaviors are like compelled upon you rather than you choosing them, like it automatically, like your body automatically going off to the races. We want to help you to get back to choice. So if you have to do this 77 times a day, you are building a muscle. And so what? Because don't feel bad about having to repeat and repeat because you just get back up. You just get back up. You have self-compassion and you try it again. And you forget what didn't work before. Don't keep score of losses and mistakes. There's no point. You're learning. You learned something new the last time. Take and use that. You learned something new. Take and use that. Just keep getting back up and keep respecting yourself and keep choosing and keep listening and signal for safety. I've taught you how to signal for safety in yesterday's episodes. You want to signal for safety and you just want to just keep trying. You eventually do want to get to the point where you can just be with your emotions because emotions are just energy and flow. And when you do end up sitting with an emotion, it goes in and it goes away. It doesn't stay that way always. It's just letting it cycle itself out and work its way out. It got trapped, it got stuck. We want to release it. So the decision tree re-engages your prefrontal cortex, and that's the part of your brain responsible for choices and high-level reasoning, helping you move from reactive survival mode to proactive processing mode. It prevents re-traumatization because instead of trying to push through intense triggers, which can actually overwhelm your system and lead to a shutdown or a collapse, the tree gives you biological permission to stop. When your capacity is exceeded, you ensure that you don't surf that tsunami wave before you know how to tread water. It's okay to tread water first. Don't go on the big wave yet. It's not time for that. Every day you're learning how to surf bigger waves. It also stops symptom chasing. So instead of trying to fix the external problem or a specific symptom like anger, the tree focuses on the underlying nervous system state. And remember, your state is what manifests. So the tree focuses on the underlying nervous system state. So by regulating the state first, the brain will then give us what we want: wellness and thriving. Another thing that this decision tree does is it targets the electrical brain because brain processing is electrical and it is really, really super very fast. So using a decision-making structure allows for shifts that occur in seconds or minutes rather than taking hours of talking. This is something you're doing on your own, in your own time, very quickly. And lastly, it builds mastery. Every time you use the tree to successfully regulate your nervous system learns that it's safe to come back down from a state of alarm. And over time, this retrains and rewires the brain to shift back to a whole brain state automatically. I mean, how good and how much better could that be? So, this decision tree alone is gold. Okay, imagine what it could do for you for the rest of your life. And it's free. Go ahead and download your own copy so you can put it on a wall somewhere or keep it with you so you can remember to do this and so you can get free so that you can thrive. And if you would love someone to talk to who will respect what you have to say and not judge you and really listen, I have opportunities for to be able to talk to me. As of today, right now, as I'm filming this, those spots are open for free and they're not coaching sessions. They are get acquainted sessions. I'm going to listen to you and be a safe space for you to talk and see how I can help. And it's not about selling you anything. Of course, I'm going to offer services because that would be a lie if I said I wasn't going to offer like a service to you. But it's not about selling anything. It's more about listening wholeheartedly to what's on your heart and what's going on in your life, offering you some beneficial steps and information that will support you that you can take with you. Really, that's the goal, to be of support. So that's in the description box for you. And you can take your free guide, use that every day in your life, and let me know how that's working for you. And please, as you're listening to this, you've gotten this far, let me know that you've listened to this whole training or and this whole video, and that let me know how it's helped you, how it supported you, and what uh, aha or what takeaway you've got from this, and make sure that you give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And again, my name's Lana McMurray. I'm the owner and founder of Free to Thrive Coaching, certified life coach, trauma informed, and wishing you a great evening, day, morning, whatever time that I am finding you here. Thank you for watching.